Hey guys, it's Mike again, and welcome back to session 2 of Wonderlife. I hope you're enjoying this so far and, writing in your workbooks and you're having some terrific conversations with your friends. By the way, all these little talks I'm doing, I've put online at secondchance.org, just in case, you missed something or want to watch it again or want to share it with a friend. All that stuff is online. Okay. So I do a fair amount of travel for speaking events and meetings and little vacations with my family, which means I stay in hotels a lot. And so whenever I check out of the hotel, I go on a cleaning spree before I leave my room. I make the hotel bed, I wipe down the counters, I put all the trash in the trash can and the remote control next to the TV. I straighten up the hotel magazines and I gather all the towels in a nice pile and basically get that hotel room looking all spiffy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mike, you don't have to do that. There's maids that do that. The hotel pays people to clean your room. And my kids, they really hate it when I try to get them involved in the cleaning. We're getting ready to leave and I say, okay, kids, let's get this hotel room sparkling again. Get those towels folded, dust those nightstands, pick up your crumbs off the floor and get that mini bar organized. And they're like, Dad, we're not supposed to do this. You're being dumb. And recently, it finally dawned on me, why do I do this? I do this because I believe if I leave this hotel room a mess, then the hotel maid might think I'm a total slob or that the Fosters are kind of gross or that I'm a jerk that doesn't pick up after himself. And I really don't want the maid to think that about me. So hours and hours of my life have been spent cleaning up messes in hotel rooms I'll never see again, to avoid judgment of people I'll never meet. I don't get it. And this is my problem in my life and in your life too. We care too much about what people think about us. You and I are overly attached and overly hooked to external validation. And what happens is we trade what we love for the need to be liked. And so that brings us to our second life mark, that in order to experience God's wonder life, we must embrace this principle. Life mark number 2 is this: I am unashamed about what I love and care about. It means I will no longer diminish, deny, or downplay my passions for the sake of others' approval. You see, the most radical thing you can be is yourself. So think about this. Why do you think kids are so full of life? Why are they filled with so much joy? Because they're being who they are. They love what they love and how God created them. They haven't been tainted by the naysayers and bullies and those critics who suck the real you right out of you. So in the Bible, Romans 12, verse 2, it says, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Living the wonder life means we remember this truth. Pleasing God transforms you into His image, but pleasing others conforms you in their image. Author Max Lucado once said, a man who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back on the crowd. So if you want to lead the orchestra, here's 3 things we must fight against. Number 1, becoming a people pleaser. So you can either be a people pleaser or a dream chaser, but you cannot be both. And by the way, I define a people pleaser as someone who believes that their life is less important than someone else's life. Some people just call them doormats, by the way. They hide their true emotions and beliefs and desires. And you know what? When a people pleaser dies, they see the life of someone else flash before their eyes. Yes, I know that's a totally lame joke, but just go with me, okay? The second thing we must fight against is this: becoming overexplainers. This is where we feel pressure to really make sure that every person knows exactly what we mean and fully understand every aspect of our idea or decisions or the things that we're going to do with our life. Overexplainers go on and explain and justify and make everything super, super clear because, God forbid, people might misconstrue something or think poorly of us or think we're crazy. Overexplainers are also the ones that feel the need to immediately defend themselves about some critical comment made online. But here's the sad thing. Overexplainers live underwhelming lives. Which brings us to the last thing we must fight against. We must fight against and avoid playing success theater. This is where we only post the highlights on our social media. And we all know that social media is 99% pure propaganda. We only show up to places looking our best. We don't ever share what we truly love or like to do unless it meets with the public's approval. But it's not really us. It's success theater, playing the part to get likes and good reviews. It's being a second-rate version of someone else rather than a first-rate version of yourself. God is not a fan of success theater. He's a fan of the real you, whatever that might look like. The you that likes to read cheesy sci-fi novels and eat 7-Eleven hot dogs. The you that gets weepy every time a pet dies in a movie. The you that loves Star Wars so much that you paid $1,000 for an authentic Darth Vader costume that you love to dress up in. It's the you that loves to barbecue or to study birds or hunt for mushrooms in the woods. Like those things that might make other people's eyes glaze over when you start to talk about it for hours. You see, you don't need a permission slip to love the things that God has put inside of you. God loves the weird, wild, unashamed you because the weird is what makes you wonderful. So in order to live unashamed of what we love and are passionate about, in order to start getting back to who God created us to be, we're gonna have to deal with what I call the eye roll police. You know these people, right? Now you're going to run into these folks a lot, and I want you to be prepared. So we're going to do a little exercise together right now. So let's pretend you've just shared with me the thing that you love to do the most. You just shared with me something you're really proud of and love, and an idea that you really believe in, and you're excited, and you're telling me this for the very first time. And okay, are you ready? Here's my reaction. How'd that make you feel, by the way? Does that look familiar? I have a teenage daughter, by the way, so I see this look from time to time. And let me demonstrate it again. I'll even add a bigger sigh and a head shake. It's like, ugh. Now, I know many of you out there probably can do an even better eye roll than this. You're really good at it. You've seen this a lot. So maybe let's just stop right now and turn to someone that you're sitting next to or in the room and just lay an eye roll on them. Really pour it on thick, people. Like, go ahead. Now turn to someone else and do it to them. Like, dig deep, roll those eyes. Very good. We're all channeling our inner tween girls right now. It's so awesome. And it's kind of funny to have me roll my eyes at you or to roll them at each other for fun. But listen, there's nothing funny about it when we really meet a member of the eye roll police. It could be a stranger, a family member, a friend. It could be your clients or coworkers, and it's not always eye rolling either. Maybe it's subtle comments, a lack of interest. Sometimes it's silence. It feels like, I don't know, rejection or contempt. It feels like someone reaching into your heart and pulling out all of your self-worth. Well, I recently heard an actress tell a story about her worst audition ever. She was new to the business and hoped to land a role in the 1970s version of King Kong. When she walked in the room, the director leaned over to his son and said something in Italian, which she was able to understand because she knew the language a little and kind of knew a little bit of the Italian. And he said, "Why did you bring me this ugly thing?" The actress answered back in Italian, "I just heard what you said, and I'm sorry I'm not beautiful enough to be in King Kong." That actress, by the way, was Meryl Streep. And she went on to be nominated for 19 Academy Awards and is considered to be one of the greatest living actresses of our time. Nobody remembers King Kong or who starred in it, but we all remember her. She didn't let the critics or the comments or the eye roll police stop her from going after her dreams. So don't let your passions be shaped by others' preferences. Let God's love do that. That's why I say your passions don't need apologies, they need cheerleaders. The wonder life begins the moment you quit success theater and rest in the becoming the person God intended rather than the person people expect. So say it with me, say it loud and proud. I am unashamed about what I love and care about.
I'll be